Hey friends, welcome back to Rocky Mountain Homestead. In today's video, we are finally going to be getting those cookie mixes that we made a couple days ago made up. I'm going to take you guys along on how to make them up and the baking process and what they look like when they are done. I actually said I was going to film it yesterday and I realized, wait a minute, it's the 12th. It's my son's birthday. So my youngest turned 5 yesterday and I didn't film. Yesterday was actually a very busy day. So I'm going to take you guys along today, get this filmed, and hopefully be able to get this up this evening. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we are going to start with our gingerbread cookies. So what we're going to do first is we are going to put 6 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter into our bowl. And I'm also going to be adding 1 large egg. I'm going to mix this together for a couple seconds. After that is blended together, we are going to be adding a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned molasses. And we are also going to be adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then we are going to blend that together for a few seconds. Once we have that kind of blended together, we are going to gradually add in 4 cups of our gingerbread dry mix. Just adding in about a 1/2 cup at a time. You are also going to want to scrape down the sides as you need to make sure everything gets blended well and is incorporated. Once your dry mix is blended in together, this particular cookie dough will look a little bit crumbly, but you can still shape it easily into a ball and it will stick together. All right, you are going to take your dough out of the bowl and kind of shape it into a ball. And then what we are going to do is we're going to get a knife and we're going to cut that in half. And we're going to wrap these individually in plastic wrap or a Ziploc bag. You will want to leave this dough on the counter for at least 2 hours. So I will bring you back in 2 hours when this is ready. I'm already losing my daylight for the day and it is only 2:40, but being tucked in all these hills of pines where we're at, I'm going to angle you differently in my kitchen so you can kind of see. It has been 2 hours, so our gingerbread dough is ready. This has been on the counter for 2 hours. And what I'm going to do is I am going to get some flour right here and I am going to lightly flour my countertops, which I have already washed. And then we're going to put our dough on the counter. You are going to lightly flour your dough in your rolling pin, and we are going to roll this out to a 1/4 inch thickness. You can also at this time sift on some powdered sugar unless you'd like to have these iced. I'm now going to cut my shapes out. All right, these will be going in a 375-degree oven for 7 to 10 minutes. All right, they puff up a little bit, but they keep their shape. I'm going to let these cool for 3 minutes on the baking sheet before I transfer them to a wire rack. Next up are our sugar cookies. So we are going to add to this 1 cup of softened salted butter. And what I do is usually put the 2 sticks in the microwave for about 40 to 50 seconds until it's well on its way to softened. And to that, we are going to add our 3 large eggs. I will also be adding in the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Time to get this mixed together. And after we've blended the wet ingredients, I'm going to gradually add in 5 3/4 cups of your dry mix. Don't forget, you are going to want to scrape your sides of your bowl down in between adding your dry mix. All right, and after you add in your 5 3/4 cup of dry mix, this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is definitely more of a moist dough, so I am going to get this out of the mixing bowl and onto a lightly floured surface. Okay, and once we have our counter clean and lightly floured, hands washed, I'm going to put our ball of dough here, and I'm going to get my rolling pin, and you're going to want to roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch thickness. So I also have my oven preheating to 350 degrees at this time, and I'm going to go ahead and get this rolled out now. Right, we now have the dough rolled out to about 1/8 of an inch of thickness, and now it is time to cut out all the shapes. All right, I have all my cookie shapes cut out, and let me just tell you, this is the best sugar cookie dough for cutouts. They hold their shape and they do not expand much in the oven. They keep their shape. So I am going to get these on a tray. All right, oven is, don't ask what happened to that one. It's a little flaky. Oven is set to 350 degrees. These are going to go in for 7 to 10 minutes. Usually 8 to 9 minutes is perfect for me. All right, after 10 minutes, this is what they look like. I am now going to let them completely cool on the cookie tray. All right, for the next recipe, we are going to be doing our cocoa crinkles. So what I have here is 4 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You can also use peppermint extract if you'd like instead. And then I usually do half a cup of vegetable oil, but I'll be honest, I stopped buying vegetable oil. I'm just not buying seed oils anymore. So I have half a cup of coconut oil. This is the first time actually using coconut oil instead of vegetable oil. So we will see together how this goes. All right, we are going to get this mixed up for a couple seconds. Once we have the wet ingredients mixed up, we are going to gradually add to this 4 3/4 cup of our dry mix. Batter is going to be thick. It is going to look kind of like a brownie type batter. All right, once again, this is an extremely sticky dough. So I just have a spatula right here, and I am going to dump this out. It is so sticky, but you know, I'm just gonna use my hands. I washed them, so I am going to scoop this out. Like I said, it's a really thick, sticky mixture, and we are going to wrap it up and let this firm in plastic wrap or a Ziploc bag or something, and let it firm up in the fridge for at least 2 hours. So, I'm gonna get that like that, wrap it up really well, and I will bring you back. I ran out of wrap there. I will bring you back in 2 hours. All right, our dough for our cocoa crinkles is now really much more firm, and we are going to take it and we're going to make about 1 to 1.5 inch balls. So it's still a little bit sticky, not as bad though, as you can see before it stuck everywhere to me. So what we're going to do is roll it up. And you're going to want to roll it in powdered sugar. This is what's going to give it that crinkled look. And then we are just going to set it over here on our cookie tray. So I'm going to get the rest of these rolled and I will bring you right back. These are ready to go into a 350 degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. And what I did here, just like the peanut blossoms, you can stick a Hershey Kiss in the middle of them if you'd like to. You can use the candy cane Hershey Kisses, whatever type you like. I just had some regular original Hershey Kisses and stuck them into a few of them just to show you. So I'm going to put these in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, and after about 12 minutes, these came out perfect. And yeah, I'm going to let these set up on the tray. They're going to cool for about 3 minutes before I transfer them over to a wire rack. And then there they will finish cooling. Next up is molasses cookies. I am using 1.5 cups of coconut oil. You can also use 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. To that, I'm going to add 2 large eggs. And I am also going to add 1/2 cup of old-fashioned molasses. I'm now going to blend up my wet ingredients. Now that that is mixed up, I am going to be gradually adding in 6 cups of our molasses mix. Actually, to be exact, it is 6 cups and 2 tablespoons. I'm going to take some of our dough here and just roll it into a bowl. And then what you're going to want to do is roll it into some sugar. I actually like to just kind of sprinkle it on a little bit too, but this is a coarser sugar. You can use granulated sugar if you'd like. I just have some organic cane sugar, so I am going to get the rest of these rolled out and then I'll show you the next step. These molasses cookies are going to go into a 350 degree oven for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes at most. You do not want to overbake these. Look how beautiful these are. I'm going to let these sit for about 3 to 5 minutes to cool before I transfer them because these are going to be very soft at first, but this is by far the best molasses cookies I have ever had, we have ever had, and I have made these for ages. They're so good. All right, the very last cookie we are doing is our chocolate chip cookies. So I am going to put 8 tablespoons of really softened salted butter into the mixing bowl. To that, we are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, as well as 1 large egg. We are now going to blend our wet ingredients together. Once blended, we are going to gradually add in 2½ cups of our dry mix. Once your dry mix is added in, you are going to add 2/3 cup of chocolate chips into the cookie dough. Now you can make these however big you'd like to. I'm just going to grab a little bit of dough, probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 tablespoons full, and I am just going to roll it up into a ball, and I'm going to continue to do so until I have the cookie tray filled. I probably have enough dough left in here for maybe 2 or 3 more cookies. I have 12 right here on the sheet, and I am going to pop these in the oven. 350 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, for me it took about 15 minutes for the chocolate chip cookies to be set up. You want to pull them out while they're a very, very light golden color, and then just let them finish cooling on the tray. Once cooled, you could transfer them to a wire rack, but this is what they look like, and they are a really nice puffy chocolate chip cookies. So I am going to go ahead and let these set up. Look at these. Now there's way more. There's a lot on the cooling racks right now, but I'm just excited to get this up to you guys and show you what those dry mixes end up looking like. You can see, so the only one with the chocolate chip cookies is you can see some specks of the brown sugar in them. But once again, when you're mixing brown sugar into a dry mix, that is going to happen. Everything tastes delicious though. My kids have had plenty of cookies they've been snacking on, and Mike is on his way home from work and he is absolutely excited that there was some cookie baking going on today. So this is the end of the video. I had fun baking these up with you guys. My house smells incredible, and my kids and Mike are super thrilled that we have cookies to snack on after dinner tonight. So I just wanted to get this video up to you as quickly as possible. If you're just seeing this video and you're like, what is this in reference to? I'm going to leave in the description box down below the first video that I did, which was how to make up these dry mixes for the pantry for Christmas, for the holiday season, for gift giving. These are absolutely a lifesaver to have on hand. So many Christmases have gone by and my kids are like, I want to make cookies today, and I'm like, I just don't have the time today, or we have too much to do. But having the dry mixes ready to go and just throwing a couple wet ingredients in a bowl, it is so quick to get these made up. So I have cookies everywhere. I need to pull the last tray out of the oven. They're on cooling racks. House smells so good. I hope this video is helpful for you guys, and I just want to share 2 tips to make sure your dry mixes work well and that you have absolutely no issues. So I'm going to say the 2 biggest mistakes you can make with dry mixes is, number 1, not blending the dry mix enough. You're mixing all your dry ingredients in together. You want to make sure they're thoroughly combined, no clumps. And that's why when I did like the chocolate chip cookie one, I mixed everything together really well before adding in the brown sugar, because we know brown sugar, especially like my homemade brown sugar, but all brown sugar has some type of moisture to it. So that's, you know, the only reason you see little specks of brown sugar in the chocolate chip cookies, but everything tastes fine. It's a nice, even taste, like if you were to make a single batch of cookies. Number 2, gradually add your dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, like half a cup, 3/4 cup at a time, a little bit. Mix it well till blended. Otherwise, if you just dump it all in, it's going to crumble a lot and it's going to be much more drier. So with that being said, like I said in part of this video, when you're making cookies, you always have to cream your sugars with your butter. And when you're doing this, which is almost like a reverse method for mixing up your cookies, you're just dumping all the dry ingredients into your wet ingredients. So I just wanted to definitely stress that if you have any issues whatsoever, those are more than likely going to be the 2 problems that you are going to come across if you don't follow those directions. So I just wanted to stress that. I hope that you guys give these a try. And if you want to see the single amounts, I'm going to put some links down in the description box below that'll say videos mentioned in this video. And I have 2 links, or actually 3 that I'm going to share. I have made the chocolate chip cookies in the past at the beginning of my channel. I have made the sugar cookies in the past, and I have made the other cookies as well in a video except the molasses. So if you guys don't want to, you know, commit to a big batch with all those ingredients and you're like, I need to try this first and make sure that I'm actually even going to like it, I will link those down below. And those videos will show the regular amounts of ingredients that you would need to just make a regular single batch. So that way you're not making a big bulk batch of cookie dry mix and then you're like, I don't like these, which I would be absolutely shocked if anybody didn't like these, to be quite honest. But anyway, and I also want to throw out there, like I said in a previous video, we are at 7,600 feet elevation in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. So these are high altitude approved. These are for like all altitudes. This is high or low. You don't have to tweak it if you live at a high altitude. So just letting you know, I'm going to try and maybe put that on the thumbnail or in the title just so people know, because I know that's a really tricky thing to do, is bake at high altitude. So all these, you don't have to do a thing. Make them as is and they will turn out absolutely delicious. I need to go. It's dinner time. I will see you guys on the next video. I have a good one coming out next. So hit that like button if you like this kind of content. And if you have not yet subscribed, but you've been watching my videos, I'd greatly appreciate it if you decided to hit that subscribe button on your way out and click that notification bell so you are notified of the next video coming out and you don't miss it. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, take care and God bless.